Okay, this is Orlando Wilson. What I want to talk about in this video is terminology. And the reason for this video is I posted an article recently on social media, video, reference, counter surveillance, etc. And I had a gentleman write a very long comment on LinkedIn about how the terminology was wrong, etc. He also went out of his way to send me a very nice, long, private message, personal message of why the terminology was wrong. Okay, thank you very much, appreciated. You know what, I've been using the term counter surveillance, and it's been used by people I've been working with when I started training many years ago, for the past over 35 years. This is where terminology these days, there's lots of different terminology for lots of different things, especially in the security world, close protection world, etc. And you know what? Is a certain term wrong? Is a certain term right? Well, it depends. I would say there's nothing right, there's nothing wrong. In this gentleman's cozy little world, I'm sure the terminology he's read about, or some influencer told him about, or something in their little world, that's their terminology. But if you're working internationally, terminology changes greatly from area to area, country to country. I'll put it in perspective, even if for the guys and girls that's been in the military, different military units, different branches of the military have different terms for different things. What can mean something in one branch of the military can mean something else in another branch. Even you were talking about the meanings of different words. There's a lot of difference between British English and American English. There's lots of different words that mean different things. So terminology varies greatly. If you're operating somewhere, you need to work out within your team, within your group, etc., what terms you're going to be using for specific things, specific objects, specific code words, etc. And even down to one thing where terminology needs to be worked out specifically, and I've had this issue, well, not issue, I've always tried when I'm running gun ranges, firearms courses in other countries, to try to work with the local terminology. And some of it might be, I know some of it is a lot different than say standard British Army terminology. If you start giving range commands, standard British military commands on a lot of ranges, especially in other languages, there'll be some people who'll be scratching their heads. So from a safety perspective, you need to learn the local terminology. So this is where, to me, the people that's hot on terminology, oh, it's called this, it's called that, you got to say this. You know what? Keep reading the books. Keep watching YouTube. Enjoy. But in reality, terminology, as long as people understand, makes no difference. To me, it's as long as people understand what you're talking about. And again, usually the terminology, especially if you're operating in other countries, needs to be as simple as possible. If you come in, and I know there's a lot of people these days that like to, and the Americans are always the ones for it, but I think how can I put it? The verbal diarrhea is spread into other places, not just in America, because the Americans like to come up with fancy terms and terminology for simple things, right? Anyway, as I said, if you're running operations, if you're running courses, etc., work out the terminology within your company, within your group, and ensure everybody knows it. And again, if you're working covertly, then you can be using code, etc., so nobody else knows what you're doing, where you're going, etc. But again, everybody needs to understand that terminology. And again, it varies greatly from group to group, area to area, country to country, etc. So if you're if you think all there is to the security world, investigations world, etc., is specific terminology, as I said, keep reading the books, keep watching the videos, and enjoy. In the meantime, follow me along on social media. I've got an array of videos up on social media, on the main platforms. I prefer LinkedIn these days, but we're up on the other platforms. I have an array of books up on Amazon that talk about various aspects of the close protection, security business, investigations business, etc. We will be running our courses again in 2025. We've taken a break because we've been too busy doing other things in other places. So in the meantime, be good, stay safe, stay out of trouble. And as far as terminology is concerned, as long as you understand what people are saying and you understand the meaning, and people are explaining things properly, I don't see much of a problem. Anyway, be good, stay safe, stay out of trouble.